Hey, good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. You can, if you would like to I was looking at all of my messages here, or looking at all of my phone and devices. None of my rowdy friends have sent me any messages this morning. So usually I get a rowdy friend or two message, but I haven't received any today. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, let me tell you a little bit of Amanda. The next 2 hours, I have to get it all out, because this afternoon at approximately 1:30 from 1:15, somewhere around 1:15 or 1:30, Georgia Secretary of State Brian Kemp will be here in the studio. He is candidate for governor of the state of Georgia, Republican candidate for the state of Georgia for governor. And he will be here today, and that's when I have to act all serious. I've got to get my ADD in check. Everything's got to turn around. You understand?
You got to throw yourself together?
Yes, I got to pull it together. Got to, I have to go the big word. I have to act professional.
Oh.
Yeah, I have to act professional. I have to act serious. No, I will be doing a serious interview. If you've never had an opportunity to see some of my interviews in the past with candidates, I actually do very serious interviews, get drilled right down into the issues, and get the discussion opened up with the candidates. Our first in studio candidate is Secretary of State Brian Kemp today. Now he is running for Georgia. Governor of Georgia on the Republican ticket. Now we will be putting that interview up on YouTube, and it will be ready and available this afternoon, because we want to break that news. But we will also air it for you, the audience, tomorrow. If you want to wait till tomorrow, we will be airing my interview. Now, if you want to contact the show about anything we're talking about, because if you've been watching the show for a couple years, a couple weeks, couple months, when you get up and you turn on the news and you see the direction the media is going, what I try to do from time to time here is peel back, what do they like to say, peel back the onion, and get to the part where, the things that are happening that are not on the front page. We may get all of our information electronically now in this world, but, for most of us in my generation, we still call it on the front page. I like to go to page 7 and bring out what they don't want to talk about. We're going to do that this morning. We do have a couple subjects. Russian meddling in our election, collusion, Michael Flynn wanting to reverse his plea. Just a couple things we're looking at. If you want to contact the show, 706-889-9700. That's 706-889-9700, or chief@fetchernews.com, chief. And then also on the top there, you can follow us on Twitter @FetcherNews, @FYNTV. Also, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, FYNTV, Fetch Your News. Hit subscribe there on our channel, and anytime we're broadcasting live or we have a video uploaded, you will get a notification. Find us on Facebook, FYNTV Facebook, Fetch Your News on Facebook, you name it. So last night, now we're going into state and national, we're going there. Today will bring us all together. Well, that was pretty good unity, right? We're going to bring it all. We're going to bring some local, some state, and some national. And we're going to bring it all together because it fits. Now, in the national news, right now there's some headlines, not the headlines of Russia, not the headlines of Parkland and AR-15s and background checks right now, but Russians, the Russian government meddling in our election, okay? And Secretary Brian Kemp of State, Georgia Secretary of State Brian Kemp, has been under the spotlight several times throughout this investigation into Russia, possible Russian meddling into state elections, and also the voter registration. He has been on the spotlight, and right now there's a lot of talk about paper ballots in Georgia. So the question I'm going to get to in just a minute is, do you think we should scrap the touchscreen voting system? And we're going to ask Secretary Kemp today, because here's what's going on, is nobody really digs into why. And there's so many people saying, well, because they're electronic touchscreen machines, the Russians can hack the machines. The machines are never online, folks. They are never online. Now, hacking the Secretary of State's website, which has not happened, or where the information goes into, but the actual voting machine is never online. They have cards in them that record the data. So they can't get the machines per se. I'm pretty positive of that. But there's no such thing as a true recount in the state of Georgia in elections, because if a candidate calls for a recount, what I call a true recount, the only thing they could do is reproduce, the paper tape that they can print out of the machines. That's it. So realistically, what the machine says the vote is, because the paper printout is going to be the same thing. That's caused a lot of argument from the possibility of Russia hacking our elections, to the being able to recount and being able to validate votes, legal votes, paper ballots in Georgia. Now, there's some call for paper ballots right now with Casey Cagle, Lieutenant Governor of the state. There's some call for paper ballots in the state of Georgia, and he is also a candidate for governor. And it seems to be a popular subject. Now, I want to make sure I'm very clear in the state of Georgia. I'm not taking sides, but the reason I am bringing this up fairly early in the show is because Fox News did a whole segment on Georgia, looking at changing their voting system, and they tried to parallel it to the potential Russian hacking and protecting you and I from Russian hacking our elections. I will say this: we do not need to have quite the fear. I'm not saying that Russia does not try to influence our election results. I'm not saying they don't try. I'm not going down that road, But Russia does not try. It's the enemy within. Let's just stay with that no one ever focuses on. Now, I know you watch probably a lot of people throughout the day and listen to a lot of talk shows, but it's the enemy within that the people don't focus on, that surrounds us, that we feel safe with, that we feel will never harm us. On a daily basis, do you realize, since this president has taken office, and I'm not trying to leave the ground here, on a daily basis we have to hear some kind of news account that there's a constitutional crisis, that we're headed for a constitutional crisis. Our democracy is at stake. They're trying to destroy our democracy. It's on a daily basis. I mean, do you think for 8 years, while Barack Hussein Obama was in office, you ever heard the fake media discuss constitutional crisis? And, when they dropped $1 billion in Iran, illegally, in dollar bills, a ransom note, paid off the ransom. Did you ever hear constitutional crisis? No. Never. See, Obama had the opportunity to do something about Russia, and he did not. But getting back to the paper ballots, it's become a big, and I don't know, because Kemp is the Secretary of State of Georgia, and obviously he has some responsibilities and he has some questions he has to answer on how he's handled some things as Secretary of State of Georgia, okay? Much like Casey Cagle will have to answer for some things that seem to have come to light this session and not in the past. So there's no candidate out there. Right now, there's a big issue being made over the voting machines. Why is that, folks? Why do you want paper ballots? Do you know why you want paper ballots? Now, I don't know. I'm not saying it's bad. Okay? Candidate for current Secretary of State, Josh McCoon is calling for a paper ballot system, a backup paper ballot system. Okay? I'm okay with that. Secretary Kemp said, remember hanging chads. So we're going to talk a little bit about elections and what's going on and what we're not discussing. Okay? 2018. Now, why do the Democrats keep pushing the issue? I don't know if this question has been answered, because I'm going to say the majority of Americans, okay? Majority. Except if you're in Hartford, Connecticut this morning, or if you're, somewhere in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and, or you're somewhere out in L.A., downtown Atlanta. I'm going to say majority of Americans in rural America, the Russian investigation is not bothering you at all. You feel the Russian investigation is as big a nothing burger. Remember, Rice Previs called it a nothing burger. You think the Russian investigation is the biggest nothing there is. Okay? And you don't know why they don't just quit now, save some of your tax money, okay? Save some of your tax money and move along, because we've seen nothing. We have the indictment of the Russians, okay? We got Paul Manafort, okay? We've got Michael Flynn, which is, I think, attempting to change his plea, if possible, that he made of guilty, okay? We've got George Papadopoulos. Mueller and the deep state. There is a deep state, folks. The top level of the FBI, the very top level of the FBI and Department of Justice, tried to influence an election by picking their candidate, the deep state, not the Russians. The FBI, you have more to be concerned about over at Quantico with the FBI, okay? The top level, not your field agent out here, okay? Your top level, all right, FBI there, and your top level in Department of Justice and the State Department have more to do with trying to fix an election for Hillary Clinton and Obama than the Russians. You have heard, not from me, but from others, many others, you have heard they're protecting Hillary, not because they're so much in love with Hillary, because Hillary implicates Obama, and you can't indict or criminalize or put Hillary in jail without going with Barack Obama, okay? So, that being said, all right, you have nothing is going to come out of the Russian investigation. You have Bob Casey Jr., okay, in Pennsylvania, because we're going to bring this up. You have Bob Casey Jr., senator from Pennsylvania, that is running against Lou Bartoletta, Congressman Lou Bartoletta up there in Pennsylvania, which Donald Trump has endorsed. We'll find Lou's picture in a little bit. And Senator, we'll bring that up, Senator Casey. We're talking about the things you're not hearing on the main TV today. But Senator of Pennsylvania, Casey, okay, has to run a statewide race. Democrat Bob Casey Jr., and he does not want the Russian investigation, collusion, obstruction, whatever it ends up not being, he does not want that report released till after 2018's election cycle. Because when released, my opinion is there's nothing there, okay, but there's plenty waiting. And I think the Russian investigation is not for the 2018, it's not a campaign issue. It's got everything ready for if and when the Democrats take the House of Representatives. All the groundwork's going to be ready, okay, for impeachment. All right? You will not see everything, know everything, or have privy to all the information, is my opinion, that Mueller has in his basket. You will not. Because no, if a congressman out in the middle of, Missouri somewhere is trying to flip a red district blue, he's not going to go out there and do a stump speech in Missouri that the Russians did this and the Russians did that. That's not going to work. That's not going to be a vote getter, okay? Parkland, gun control, then that might be a vote getter, but not the Russian. So why push it and work it 7 days a week? The goal is to get rid of the President of the United States. Always has been, always will be, by the deep state. To remove the President of the United States. That's the goal. Two, flat out, all right, once the Democrats, if they regain control of the House and the Senate, but the House in particularly, that's why Bill Clinton didn't leave. It's because the Senate was, at that time, was still controlled by Republicans, and the House was controlled by Democrats, and the impeachment process goes through the House, and then the Senate enforces it, okay? The removal, all right? So I think I'm right there, but, don't want to get it wrong. But the House actually does the impeachment. That's why when a lot of people wonder why Bill Clinton was impeached, but he did, he did not get removed from office, it's because the Senate, the House impeachment goes over to the Senate for the next step. And at that time, the House, I'm sorry, I had it backwards. I apologize. The House was in the hands of the Republicans, is why Bill Clinton, and the Senate was in the hands of the Democrats. Sorry, I got that backwards, but that's exactly what happened. You had two different parties to lead. So Mueller will have everything ready for Nancy Pelosi or whoever they pick to run the show if they can turn the elections in 2018. And what they got to do is they got to start making some different changes. Let me show you this picture, okay? And I'm going to show you this picture before I take my first break. And I'm going to tell you some things we're going to be talking about. Amanda, show them the picture. And I'm going to tell you what the name of the picture is. It's not on the picture, and see if you can guess which picture I want you to put up, okay? Folks, these are the two, and I know I'm not politically correct, and I got to get all that out of my system because I got to be nice at about 1:30 and go professional. But these are the two most dangerous. Well, wait a minute. Now, don't put the picture up yet. Just get it ready because I've got to set it up. These are the two most dangerous black men in America. Now, you think you're about to see a picture of two African Americans in prison in orange jumpsuits with tattoos, okay? Or you're about to see two African Americans wearing the dark shades and the Black Panther getup. You think you're about to see whatever, but these are the two most dangerous. These are on the BKP most dangerous black men in America list. You got them? There they are. Barack Hussein Obama, all right, and Eric Holder. Standing there at your Capitol. That's the two most dangerous black men in America. We're going to talk about why after the break. Let me go over a couple things. Take that down, boy. That's just scary to look at. Folks, are you? Let me get a couple of my points here that I'm trying to try. I'm concerned now. Wait a minute. Let's not, Amanda. just double check me here. You're the not back. I don't want you to back me up. I just want you to back me up as double checking here. I want to make sure it's clear that you understand I am not supporting. When I say supporting, I am not saying anything in a positive way about the shooter, okay, in Parkland, Florida. Nothing in a positive way. I want to make sure of that. I'm just a tad concerned, okay? Now, we rush, and these kids have come out, and whoever put a picture of the Obama kids, because there's been several, all right? I call these the Obama kids, all right? These kids have come out, and whoever could yell the loudest at a microphone seems to get the attention. Whoever could yell, we're not going to take it anymore, okay? Whoever could do that is getting the most attention through the Obama kids. And I'm really concerned of these kids, okay? Now, I'm going to respect their right to free speech. I'm going to respect their right to speak out, okay? Go for it. Say what you want to say, all right? But let me tell you something. I'm concerned about this Constitution. And I'm concerned about the Obama kids running to a microphone and George Stephanopoulos and Chuck Todd and CNN's crew and Allison Camerata and Allison Cooper. You can't not get the list long enough. Martha Raddatz, her concerns, all of them. I'm concerned. See, they're all gushing and they're all oohing and they're all eyeing. These children, the children may be the ones to save our future. The children may be the ones to get us to look at gun violence in America. Well, I'll tell you who would like for you to look at gun violence in America is the black grandmother in Chicago that can't sit on the stoop this summer when it's 90 degrees out and enjoy the neighborhood with the granddaughter because of the fact that somebody may get shot. Now, why is the cry of inner city America, why is the cry of the other side of America not been enough to address the gun violence in our cities? So these kids, I'm concerned that we're rushing to protect our children as they see it, as politicians see it, as we are too afraid to actually talk about the truth of it, but what they're calling protect our children and bypass the Constitution. I'm a nervous wreck over that, folks. I love the kids, man. Love the kids. I watch high school basketball, high school baseball. You name it. You know that. If you're out there, you know that. You see me all the time watching the kids playing sports, doing things here. Okay, but you know what? I always get concerned when these things take place, tragedies, and the government rushes in to help. Now, we have in America, our judicial system says a minor is a minor. They're just that, okay? Now, Amanda, I told you I'm not saying anything at all in a positive way with the shooter, okay? But I'm going to talk about the judge allowing his juvenile record to be opened and made public in Florida yesterday. And I know I'm going to go in a different direction than probably anybody you're going to hear today, so stay tuned. Hey, when we come back, redistricting. Have you ever heard of the NDRC? They're winning the battle. Now, we won the battle with Trump, but I really think we're losing the war, folks. I really think we're losing the war. We got to make some changes. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. Amanda, take us to break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
New Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hut.
Okay, folks, we're back, right? Is that what we are? So that's what I should say. So when Amanda says, I've only been doing this for 2 years. I'm BKP, your host. When Amanda says we're going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're back is actually, right? Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. Hey, I told you we were going a different direction. So we're expecting a phone call. Let me tell you what we're expecting, okay? We're expecting a phone call now from Pennsylvania. And I'll tell you why we're calling. You need to pay attention. I don't care where you're at. You've got to pay attention to this. I know they're talking about kids laying down on the front of the White House protesting guns. I know they're screaming and yelling at the microphone to increase background checks, tighten them. I know that. But the story I'm bringing you is the story, period. End of story. No, we're not at the end of the story yet. But here we go. All right. 2 most dangerous men. I'm going to, when we go to card, you're used to the show. We're just going to take like a 15-second break, plug this person in. We're going to have the chairman, Lee Snover, the chairman of the Northampton Republican Party, chairman of the Northampton Republican Party in Pennsylvania, calling in. Now, this is a big county. This is a county, an enormous county, 60 miles population-wise, 60 miles north of Philadelphia. 60 miles north of Philadelphia, all right? This county voted twice for Barack Obama. Went twice for Barack Obama, this county did. This county was flipped to red, Donald Trump, red. Okay, this person, Lee Snover, knows the entire state, number one. She was a Donald Trump elector from Pennsylvania, knows the state, been on state committee for years for the Republican Party, is in the fight that I'm about to tell you, where the Pennsylvania Supreme Court approved redistricting, the congressional redistricting. What does that mean for you? Let's go real fast because she might call. The 2 most dangerous men in America, okay? Put them up, okay? That's Barack Hussein Obama and Eric Holder. Now, they have a lot of missions out there, but their main mission, let's put up the NDRC. Now, the NDRC, which is chaired, this story is old for some of you people. The political system is rigged. The fight to fix it is now. We're feeling it too. That feeling that our political system is unfair for our voters don't count. Our votes do not count. The gerrymandering of the congressional and legislative districts locks in Republican majority and locks out voters. We have a plan. We have a plan to make the system fair and get democracy working again, and we need your help to do it. That's the NDRC. Who is the chair of the NDRC? Eric Holder is the chair. Eric Holder said, the biggest rigged system in America is gerrymandering. Together we can change and restore the fairness of our democracy. Eric Holder. Now, Barack Obama has the OFA, Organizing for America. Do you have that? There you go. That's Organizing for America. Obama's Organizing for America and the NDRC is the same thing pushed together. They are ready for the primary. So let me go to the stories that I have been telling you over and over. Why Pennsylvania? Because Georgia, you're next. Texas, you're next. Anywhere that a state went red, because Pennsylvania, the reason I want to go over this, take that one down. The reason I want to go over this is because, remember, Pennsylvania was fool's gold, right? Why did John McCain, all right? Why did he campaign so hard in Pennsylvania? It's fool's gold for Republicans, remember? Why did Mitt Romney, when he ran for president, campaign so hard in Pennsylvania? Who told Romney he had a chance in Pennsylvania? Because it's fool's gold. Well, the state of Pennsylvania is tired of it. And if you look at the congressional map today, It is a red state with 2 blue regions, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Is she there? Okay, we have our caller, so just stay there. We're not going to commercial, just 10 seconds.
Okay, so
wait. Hey, we're back, folks. We're back. New Pennsylvania map gives Democrats big boost in midterms. Now, before I went to the brief break to get our guest on, new Pennsylvania map gives Democrats big boost for midterms. I told you, McCain, they said it was fool's gold, Pennsylvania. Romney said it was fool's gold. Eric Holder and Barack Obama are the 2 most dangerous men in America. 2. Okay, the NDRC, redistricting, gerrymandering, you keep hearing it, you hear it from me. They have to get Pennsylvania back. My guest right now is the chairman of the Northampton County Republican Committee, Republican Party, Lee Snover. How are you, Lee?
I'm doing good.
I mean, you're in a county and in a region where you've been redistricted. Tell us what the Pennsylvania Supreme Court did to the state of PA yesterday, and how does that reflect on the nation and what's happening with the House of Representatives there in your state?
Okay, folks, we have a constitutional crisis in Pennsylvania right now. According to the Constitution of the state of Pennsylvania, the legislature, which is our state representatives, do the mapping of the congressional districts. It's right in our Constitution. Well, yesterday, the Democrat Supreme Court of Pennsylvania decided the districts weren't fair because Republicans keep winning. They issued a new map and are demanding that our congressmen run under their map. They redistrict against the Constitution, and we don't know what to do. We petitioned the United States Supreme Court to step in, and they won't hear it. So we're in a constitutional crisis. The Constitution says the legislator does the mapping, and the courts took it over yesterday.
Well, wait a minute. So what you're saying is in the state of Pennsylvania, because people in Georgia, the reason we're bringing this in is you're next. You're next in Georgia because the Republican 6th district, the reason Karen Handel, they say, is the representative and lost to John Ossoff. I mean, won in the John Ossoff race is because gerrymandering, what used to be Tom Price and Newt Gingrich district. So, Georgia, you better pay attention to what we're talking about. So, your state legislature...
George Soros is behind this. George Soros is behind this. I'm telling you. Pennsylvania is like the 3rd or 4th largest Republican delegation in Congress. We have 13 Republican congressmen. This map was drawn 8 years ago. There were no complaints about the map. We keep winning. Now that we've won over and over, the Democrats, under the League of Women, a partisan organization that claims to be nonpartisan, petition the court saying it must be gerrymandered because they're winning.
Whoa, wait a minute. So what you're saying is the current map, not the new one from the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, the current map has been in place for 8 years, drawn 8 years ago, and actually several of those seats, if you go back 8 years ago, were blue, and what happened is Republicans started turning those seats red, and they had to put a stop to it.
Exactly. Now, they did not challenge it 8 years ago. They had an opportunity in court to challenge it then, but they were winning. So they didn't even bother. But now we keep winning. So here comes George Soros, big money, and League of Women Voters, which pretend to be nonpartisan. They file a complaint saying it's gerrymandered for Republicans, and the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, which is a Democrat court, threw out our congressional maps. And do you know our election is very close and petitions are supposed to be being circulated and congressmen don't even know where to go? They actually redistrict congressmen out of their district.
Oh, well, okay. I want to double up on that really quick if you have a minute. That's what I read that shocked me, as the Supreme Court came back with a 4-3 or 5-4 decision. They drew a new map. We have looked at the map this morning. They've redrawn the map. And this is for the current election. This is how fast this is happening. This is the current election. So you have congressmen drawn out of their district that are going to have to run now in areas that they don't represent or not know exactly where they need to campaign. Correct?
Exactly. We have congressmen that own homes in districts that they're not going to be in anymore. And we have congressmen that have already started, candidates that have started campaigning who have spent $45,000, $60,000, $90,000 already ramping up their campaign, and now they've been written out of the district they're campaigning in. It is a complete nightmare.
They're sitting there this morning saying, we sure as hell didn't need to buy those billboards down that highway.
And, they're talking about people are just going to run anywhere in Pennsylvania. I mean, it is a mess. And we need the U.S. Supreme Court to step in. I want to see the RNC down here, the Republican National Committee. I want to see the media covering this. Why all of a sudden, after 8 years, when there were no complaints, we allowed a activist court to go make a new congressional map? Who ever heard of such?
Well, now, wait a minute. I got another thing, too. How can you get now the election offices to understand, because I understand it here in Georgia, and it's not a big difference across the country, how do you get these election offices to understand now printing their ballots, who is actually registered in the right district? I'm going to tell you what, we did this in Georgia, but we didn't redistrict. The population grew to where we got an additional seat. You know what I mean? But even when that happened and we had to split a district because of population reasons, people did not know where to vote. They would go to the wrong district to vote. I mean, this is a nightmare to me.
It is. It is completely. It's going to be chaos. Petition circulation already started in Pennsylvania, and they did not allow, the PA Supreme Court put a stop on it, not allowing candidates for Congress to circulate a petition. So they put even the petition period on hold because they're working on these maps. This is the 7th map that's been introduced, and it's all because we're winning. So what they did, if you look at the new map, it's gerrymandered completely for Democrats.
Okay, that's what I want to know.
Yes, they made sure a city is in every rural district. That part of a city is in every rural district, so we can't guarantee any wins. Okay, so what they did is they split up their cities into all the rural districts.
So what they did is they pushed the suburbs into a rural district and an area of a city to balance, not what they're going to call balance out, but actually bring just enough vote to stop that Republican from winning by 2%, 3% in that district.
Yeah, they pushed out Philly, the outskirts of Philly. They pushed that out into several districts to dilute us from being able to win. Now, we have 13 seats now. And the map I saw yesterday, we'll be lucky if we have 5.
Are you serious? You actually could lose, is 8 and 5 13? I think so.
Yeah, they think we may lose 8 seats because, as I said, they divided, let's say they took a city and divided it 4 ways and made sure that city got into all the rural districts to dilute the Republican vote. So
in one state alone, George Soros could bring down 8 seats, and he's already got, 1/3 of how many he needs to take back the House in one state?
Yes, and this is all about impeaching Trump, people.
We know.
Actually, you guys need to be calling your own congressman and tell them, do something now, because we don't know where to turn. I mean, we are begging people to help us. This is a constitutional crisis. Our Constitution says that our legislator makes the maps. And we have activist judges stepping in and making their own maps.
Judges. Folks, we're going to talk about activist judges. That's on my list. That's why I told you. We're not talking the Parkland shooter. Don't take that wrong, folks. We're not talking that. We're not talking Russia. We're talking this because we're peeling back the onion, and America needs to pay attention. I got one more question before you go. I know you have to go into a meeting. What do you mean you're going to the Supreme Court? What do you think the outcome is going to be? What are you guys doing across the state? How in tune are you with some of what I call the big guys or the Republican leadership across the state of PA? What is happening?
Okay, so what happened is, right when this came down, that the court said they agreed that the state was too leaning Republican and they had to redo the maps, we petitioned the United States Supreme Court to stay it, to stop it, and they wouldn't hear it. They said it wasn't a federal issue, but we argue it is a federal issue because these congressmen go to Washington. It is a federal issue. So we are going to petition the United States Supreme Court to stop this, to put a stay on it until it can be resolved.
It is a federal issue for the simple reason, Lee. And I'll say it like this, I mean, for a simple reason, regardless of the courts. Congressmen have to file their campaign finance reports not in the state, at the federal level, period. End of story.
Exactly.
So I can go and I can get all of my local representatives' campaign finance reports, my local senators, right down here in Atlanta. But if I need Doug Collins' campaign finance report, I got to get it through the federal campaign finance reporting. So it is a federal situation. Well,
but we need help from the National Republican Party. We need help from the other states to make people aware this could be happening to them. Like I said, we could lose 8 representatives in this one state, and the goal is to impeach Trump, and these people are not giving up. And now they couldn't win in the ballot box, so now they're changing the districts.
Oh, I know. The 2 most dangerous black men in America is Barack Obama and Eric Holder. The NDRC, the National Democrat Redistricting Committee. Gerrymandering, they're out there, and I've been preaching this for a long time. I know you're busy. When will the Supreme Court? I got to let you go. I know that. When will the Supreme Court hear that, or have they made a decision if they will hear it?
I don't know. I'm hoping we hear. This map just came out yesterday.
Yeah,
so I don't know anything yet. I'm going to try to find out today what's going on, but we're going to go back to the Supreme Court and get this stopped. We have to.
All right, text me later today if anything goes through, and I'll be keeping an eye on the internet. And I know this is probably your drive time to work, and we appreciate you taking your drive time out to talk to us and our listeners. And I mean, if we got to talk every day, we'll talk every day.
We also have a special election in PA. I don't know if you're keeping track of that. It's called PA 18.
Yes.
Rick Saccone. So we have a special election going on, and they actually redistrict that seat. So even if he wins a special election, that whole congressional district is changed.
So the guy that could win the special election that Trump just endorsed, that district has changed, and he actually would win a seat that he's actually being redistricted out of.
Yes, that whole district's being changed, and we have a special election right now. It's insanity.
George Soros should be in jail, folks. I gotta go, Lee. Thank you so much.
Right.
That's the
Take
breaking
it easy.
news.
Have a good day,
folks. Amanda, were you able to hear the interview?
I was.
Did we break news?
You just broke news.
I mean, and who's paying attention, right?
Yep.
Folks, we're going to take a brief break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk more about Pennsylvania because I want to clip this. I want to clip right from the interview, right when I started with her, when I said the 2 most dangerous black men. I said Pennsylvania, blah, 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 and then went into my guest. I want to clip that right there, and I want to write everything up and get that out. 911. That is a hot one. George Soros, 8 seats, folks. And you keep worrying. And I've been telling you every single day, I brought you BKP, the NDRC, first. I know I did. Take us a break.
Had the time of my life. I never felt like this before. I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. this could be love, because I've had the time of my life. I've never felt like this before, 'cause I've had the time of my life.
The Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart.
It's just this simple. Nobody beats Days on price. If it's a Chevy, you'll pay less at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save $4,000 off a new 2018 Chevy Malibu, or save up to $10,000 off a new 2018 Silverado Crew Cab. It doesn't matter which Chevy you choose. Nobody beats Days on price. $10,000 off Silverados and $4,000 off Malibus at Days Chevy in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Folks, if we have 12 viewers or 12,000 or 120,000, which we should have, we are actually bringing the information this morning. We brought you the information. I have to tell you, exactly, I have known these dirty, dastardly villains, right? I feel like dirty, dastardly villains for how long? The Soros, the George Soroses of the world that we should be putting in prison right now. The Hillary Clinton that should be in prison right now. You know, they say, let me just make a little, I guess, joke here or wisecrack or be a smartass for a minute. They say the Russians meddled in our election. The Russians hacked the DNC. The Russians exposed the emails from the Democrat National Committee. They say this, and this. I don't know. Maybe can the Russians come over and put Hillary and Obama and Holder and George Soros and Uma Abedin and Cheryl Mills? Can you come over, round them up, and put them in prison? Because God knows our people will sit by and let the government, our union, be attacked by liberal judges. Okay, let's stay on this. Here's what I told you. When the election was going on, who told you that rural America would win this election? I did. Right? I know if you're out there today and you were watching 3 months before the election, you knew that this guy here felt good that Wisconsin would go Republican. You thought I lost my mind. You know this guy here felt good that Pennsylvania would go Republican. You thought I lost my mind. There's other subjects you think I lost my mind over, but let's stay focused on this one right now, the election. I told you Michigan would go red. You thought I lost my mind. But I do know this. The guy looking in the camera at you right now told you rural America would win this election. And rural America is their problem now. And you will see how they figure it out. Just like they've done in PA. PA has the largest red 13 delegation. 13. They look by this new map to lose 8 seats. 8 seats, folks. That's right. Need to pause. Pause. Just think about it for a minute. 8 seats. And you heard our guest, Lee Snover. Lee, let me just say, for the guest I just had, we're talking about the head of Trump's volunteer committee in the Lehigh Valley, which is about 1.2 million people when he was running for office. A elector, a Pennsylvania elector to the convention, okay, and the chairman of the Northampton County Republican Party, like I said, went Obama twice, now went Trump. And she's Pennsylvania State Committee. She has been the chairperson on the state committee a couple times and still serves on the Republican State Committee of Pennsylvania. This person knows. 8 seats. George Soros. I'm telling you right now, what they did is they pushed all of the blue areas in certain directions. Let's say you have a red district and your congressman is beating the Democrat by 3,000 votes. They know they're going to get Center City, Philly. They know that. They push a little of that district to get the 3,000 votes they need over there. And then they push a little of this city over into this district to get those 3,000. That's what they're doing, folks, because that's how the Republicans won rural America, and you and I are under attack. Real America. We should change it from rural to real America. We're under attack, and this is what's happening. Pennsylvania map gives Democrats big boost in midterms. The extra Democrat-leaning seats are primarily in Philadelphia suburbs. Democrats' hopes of winning the House this fall got a boost Monday with the release of a new congressional map. Go ahead and put that map back up. New congressional map in Pennsylvania that could help the party pick up several seats in the battleground state. Hey, we had somebody on the ground right there in PA. This is from Politico. Several seats in the battleground state. Under the previous map drawn by a Republican legislature in 2011, which has never been challenged. They never challenged it. And approved by then Republican governor, Republicans won 13 of the 18 congressional districts in 2016, when President Donald Trump carried 12 of the 18 districts. But early estimates of the new court-drawn map suggest that there are now 10 Trump seats. Open the door for Democrats to inch closer to a House majority when voters go to the polls this November. The extra Democrat-leaning seats are primarily in the Philadelphia suburbs. Amanda, we had a live interview right there on the ground. Told us everything, right? There you go. 8 seats, Amanda.
It's crazy. I
mean, it's shocking. 8 seats closer to Nancy Pelosi being Speaker of the House and to impeach Donald Trump. That's what the Russian... Now, I'm going to go through some other things here because there's a difference. Pennsylvania Supreme Court unveils new congressional map. Liberal judges. Pennsylvania's High Court issued a new congressional district map for the state in the 2018 elections on its self-imposed deadline on Monday. All right? It was a 4-3 decision. The primary is May 15th. These districts are redrawn now. February 20th. The primary in Pennsylvania is May 15th. People will not know what district they live in. Candidates don't know where to collect money from. It's a mess. Total mess. That's how fast. I wanted to bring that up because it's February 20th. May 15th is the primary. And everything has to be switched. So the next time you hear one of your local politicians say, well, once they change it, it won't happen that fast, okay? Pennsylvania, this is from the Morning Call. The Morning Call is right in the area where Lee Snover lives there. Pennsylvania Supreme Court, new congressional map reunites Lehigh Valley, set stage for another legal fight, okay? On and on, liberal activist judges. George Soros, most dangerous man in America, I guess maybe, but then we know the two most dangerous black men in America. All right.
Well, we were down at the border on Friday.
Here's where we're going with this. Folks, while the government is looking at tightening gun security, while the government is looking at background checks, while the government is looking at mental health, all right, we have a court system that's out of control, all right, totally out of control. Now, you have to understand when I say this, you better save the court. You better save the court because the one of the best achievements or one of the top achievements of President Donald Trump throughout his first year was how many conservative judges he has appointed to the court. You see, the Democrats can't take that anymore. That's where they draw the line, all right? That's where they draw the line. These are activist judges in Pennsylvania that are basically drawing the line, no pun intended, for new districts to give the Democrats a fresh 8-seat advantage immediately, right out of the box. All right? There you go. But that's where they draw the line, is the courts. You see, you and I have had to live through legislating from the bench. Obviously, we have arguments every day that our legislators can't get it done. But legislating from the bench with activist judges. Do you realize if you go back from Woodrow Wilson all the way through and you look at some of the biggest damage that's ever been done to this country, okay? It's legislation from the bench of the Supreme Court, not from Congress. They need the liberal judges. Because, see, you and I will not vote for the majority of the things that they try to push legislatively. But our hands get tied. Now, President Donald Trump, they need the House to impeach Donald Trump. They do not need Donald Trump there any longer, okay? They have no time to spare. Let me show you a picture here. Let's put up Ginsburg sleeping. This is just one. Now, this is Ruth Bader Ginsburg, all right? And here's now the one of her sleeping, not the one where they set her up straight and told her, to smile. Okay. This is at a State of the Union address, and it says Ginsburg sleeping. Did I send that to you? You got it? Okay. And this is a State of the Union address, and these are your Supreme Court justices. And Ruth Bader Ginsburg cannot stay awake. They say she struggles to stay awake in session when there's oral argument going on. Today, DACA may go to the Supreme Court. Will she be awake for it? I don't know. But Ruth Bader Ginsburg, there she is. She's asleep. You know, and I can't see across the room, but the other justice is looking over. I think is it Breyer? What's his name? He's looking over. He's saying, well, you know, could you wake the hell up? You know you're on TV. Wake her ass up. She's sleeping. This is not during Trump. This is during Obama. They can't afford, the Democrats can't afford. Now put her picture up. The Democrats can't afford any longer. They can't keep losing the court. Losing elections is one thing. Turning things around in the court, that's devastating to them. They can lose elections. The Democrats have a long-term plan. But the court, that's different. You see, they stack the House, they stack the Senate, they stack the White House, they stack the court. They can lose the White House, they can lose the Senate, they can lose the House of Representatives. They can win back elections, they can get things done, but they can't lose the court. You see, this morning it did not take, there was no need for a Democrat Senate, a Democrat House, or a Democrat president for the liberal court in the state of Pennsylvania, Supreme Court of the state of Pennsylvania, to decide to make the state legislatively in the Democrats' favor. I just got one more thing. Put up the red state, PA red state map. Okay? This is what it currently looks like, okay? This is the PA red state. Got it? This is what it currently looks like. Now, as our guest told us, in 2011 they didn't complain, okay? 2011 they didn't complain. Didn't complain on any of the congressional maps because a lot of this state, if you go back and check the state of Pennsylvania, a lot of these areas were still blue. And Pennsylvania has been flipping to red. So they put a stop to it. This is actually the congressional map at the current time. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those blue areas represent 5 Democrat districts. What are they? All cities. All cities in the state of Pennsylvania. Okay? What is the rest of the state? Rural. Rural Pennsylvania. But the blue, 5 districts, all cities. They've pushed those cities out enough to lose 8 to 10 seats to put them in play now. To turn that state blue by a liberal court, not the people. I'm your host, BKP. Let's take a break. I've got some other things I've got to do before we get out today. Take a break, Amanda.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
New Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas, just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas, just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hot.
And we're back, folks. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. We brought some news here today that nobody is touching and nobody is looking at. How the 2018 midterms are going to go in just one state, and they're coming from you. They're coming for it's like getting an 8-seat advantage, boom, right out of the box. It's like, I'm going to give you 8 points. It's like a bet. Right? You bet on something. You say, well, I don't know what they need. Do they need 32 seats, 26 seats? I forget. I'll look it up. How many Democrat seats they need to take over the House. But the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania has spotted, as of yesterday, the Democrats 8 seats in that challenge for 2018. So there's a hill we have to climb. High school students lead protest against gun violence in front of the White House. Now, just go through the pictures, Obama kids or whatever, and do you got a picture? Oh, no, you got the picture of the kids laying on the ground. Now, these are the kids yesterday, and this is what does Rush call them, the Huffington Post. But high school students led protest against gun violence in front of the White House yesterday, okay? Dozens of students gathered in front of the White House on Monday to demand changes to gun laws just days after a mass shooting at the Florida high school left 17 people dead. The demonstrators were organized by Teens for Gun Reform. Isn't that awesome? I mean, isn't that just so nice? Teens for Gun Reform. Out there to save our world. An organization created by students in Washington, D.C. area in the wake of Wednesday's shooting at Major Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. They participated in a 3-minute lie-in, which began at 12:30. They just laid down for 3 minutes like they were dead. Just like they'd been shot and they were dead. I mean, this will really work. There's a couple things here, folks. Number one, remember, Amanda, at the beginning of the show, I asked you can go ahead and put the Obama kids up. You can put any of those pictures you want up, all right? Any of them, the Obama kids. But you remember I asked you, okay, look at these kids and go through any of them you want from yesterday. I told you at the beginning of the show, I wanted to make sure that in no way whatsoever did I highlight in any positive way this mass murderer, this deranged, demented, masked, evil murderer in any way. But yesterday in the court, now, juvenile records are closed. And I know what you're about to say. Well, this is far from doing something stupid. So I'm going to use the window from doing something stupid, okay, to doing something as bad as Parkland, Florida. Stupid, Parkland, Florida, still yet. You have a juvenile record, all right, stole the video over at Walmart one day, and you're 16 years old, and your friends, whatever, okay, you have a juvenile record. So you hit a patch at 16 that, you got in trouble. But then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're 19, you went in the military, you got married, you got 2 kids, you're going to church on Sunday, whatever, right? So the juvenile record system in this country has been treated different based on it gives you the opportunity to do something stupid. Your school records have been treated. I cannot go to a high school and get records on a child, the privacy. Okay? Just a little concerned on how they're moving forward here on some things. Now, look at mental illness. We're going to look at mental illness in children. Let's say the kid is 14 years old and, mom can't, has had the kid on Ritalin for 7 years now, right? Since he's 7, he's 14. He just don't seem to be getting any better. And obviously now she feels there's some mental illness. And boy, did I get in a lot of trouble over that. But that's just the way I put it. So they rush them on down to, and they start having sessions at the counselor, the psychiatrist, or whatever. And they say, the kid has mental illness. He's 14. One, he could grow out of it. Now, I know you're yelling right now, this leads me to believe you know nothing about mental. I'm just saying, well, it's 14, but, by the time he's 21, I think this will go away. All right? Or this could be handled very easily with proper medication, okay? Lithium. Don't get mad at me. I'm just bringing a point. Kid's 14, 15. Next thing you know, he has had maybe he's not mentally ill, but, mom and dad wanted to have him checked out. And I've yet to see one of those places that doesn't say, well, I see some disturbing signs. Now, that'll be $300. Can I schedule you for next Tuesday? Just saying. Make me the bad guy in all this. I'm just really nervous on what we do to our kids. Okay? Because, see, our kids don't know the truth. The truth is not that this young man, you could tighten. Do you understand? You could tighten background checks. You can pass legislation. You can all feel good about yourselves. I mean, you could have politicians go out on the Rose Garden and President Trump, and they could sign something and cheer that, you know, we've done something today for our children. But you know what? The background check was in place. The laws are in place. We are not focusing on who puts the information into the system. The FBI, the sheriff, how many calls to the house, the social worker, whoever is supposed to be going back and uploading that information into the system on you. If you have a mental illness like this kid, nobody's talking about that. You can keep tightening these gun laws all day long. You know, it doesn't matter if you have an AR-15 or a bump stock, which turns a semi-automatic gun into an automatic weapon. It's irrelevant. If we have background checks and we have a system to verify who should have guns in this country, and I know I always got to be careful. I hate saying like who should have guns in this country, right? But if we have that kind of system, it's the system breakdown, not the damn law. Now, if we're going to, the court says, if we're going to open up and we're going to talk about some of these things, do you realize if we could get the Obama kids to identify mental instability in the 8th and 9th and 10th grade, we could slowly but surely eliminate a good portion of the population that would even be eligible for a gun. I know you think I'm out there. I know you do. And I know I may not be connecting with what I'm trying to say. I'm just really nervous about the fact that we're not talking about the issue. We're allowing them to politicize it. So when these kids, sad to say, look at a microphone and lie, I'm sorry, lie, and say this is not Republican or Democrat, it's a lie. It's about the NRA. Now, I'm not going to bore you with my NRA story, but we happen to be in the, we happen to be in the first grade, 6 years old. Oh, true story, 6 years old. Happened to be in New Jersey, of all places. That's why you know I'm in the 70s, right? God knows, right? 6 years old, in the 70s, we were handed out a 6 or 7 page workbook, okay? Coloring / workbook from the NRA, all right? And we did the workbook, and our teacher went through the workbook, and we colored in all the pictures, and then the chief of police of the township where I live came to our class and brought 2 guns in our classroom and laid them on the front desk and did a complete gun safety. He showed us where the safety was. He took one apart and cleaned. We're only 6-year-old kids. How not to touch them, that they're serious. I mean, it's an impression I'll never forget as long as I live. My gun safety course in the first grade at Mansfield Township Elementary School, 1970-something, from the NRA. And when we got done, we all got a little NRA patch. Well, wait a minute. I just described what the hell's wrong with me. The NRA bought and paid for me at 6 years old. Now I figured it out. It's not the NRA, folks. I'm very nervous of what they're doing. Okay? From mental health Okay, determining background, what fell through the cracks, and these kids trying to blame the NRA, the President of the United States. Very, very concerned. All right. Okay, you want something on the floor of that, Amanda? I mean, I don't know where I'm at here. I'm all over the place. You got anything where you want on the floor on that? I mean, do you want to give me your 2 cents?
We do. I can go ahead and roll with the Scott Papalardo. That is the gentleman who started the One Less movement. And I can play that video right now.
Go ahead.
Capable of snapping and committing a horrific crime. What do I do with this? How do I get rid of it? I could sell it, and I'll probably get between $600 and $800 for it. So in the back of my head, I say, well, what if whoever buys this weapon, their child gets hold of it and brings it to school one day and shoots a bunch of people? Can I live with that? I don't think I could. I'm going to make sure this weapon will never be able to take a life. The barrel of this gun will never be pointed at someone. I mean, think about it. Is the right to own this weapon more important than someone's life? A weapon like this that can cause so much death and destruction? I mean, look at the pictures of those victims. Is that right more important? I don't think so. So, I'm going to make sure that will never happen with my weapon. Now, people have always said there's so many of them out there. Well, now there's one less. And I know a lot of people are going to say I'm stupid for doing that. But this was a personal choice. I can't live knowing that my gun's out there and it can one day possibly commit a horrific act like the other day in Florida. And this isn't the answer to solve all the problems. And quite frankly, there is no answer. No one thing is going to change it. And there'll always be people that'll want to kill and will do it one way or another. But they're not going to do it with this gun. And I'm hoping maybe someone will see it and say maybe I'll do the same thing. And for all you haters out there that think I'm very stupid for doing this, I hope and I pray that it doesn't take the barrel of one of these guns pointed at your child's head to change your mind.
Why did you feel I needed to see that? Go ahead, Amanda. This is your show now. Take it over.
So I'm going to go ahead and say to Scott Papalardo that I do think it's stupid to saw your AR-15 in half, or actually at the barrel. He actually, doing that, just made it a short barrel assault rifle, which was a felony. But he actually did come back on his Facebook and did saw another piece into it. I've got a picture up there and hashtagged it One Less. If Scott Papalardo feels that he cannot trust himself with an AR-15, he shouldn't have one.
Period, right? I mean, when he says...
if you really... because, I don't know about in New York because he actually resides in New York. But here, you do have to go through gun safety and everything. So, it's not mandatory. But if you feel like your gun is not kept safe and you feel like it could get into the hands of a mass shooter, which I don't see how that would happen in the first place if you took the precautions of having a gun like this, then Scott Papalardo should not have this gun.
Folks, I'm your host, BKP. Scott, you should not have this gun. Some people may think you're stupid. I happen to be one of them. I just want to make sure. He said, right? He said, some people may think, I think you are, man. You just, sawed up pretty good gun that, I sure as hell hope you don't get robbed tonight. You need to shoot their ass. And let me tell you something. You get robbed, home invasion, shoot them twice. All right? You can pull off a couple shots pretty quick. Oh, man. The problem I see is not the solution we're going to get. And the fear I have is the government helping us. Oh, God, I'm in fear. Let me take a break and recap because we're going to close this show up.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Highway 515 South, Jasper. SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hut.
It's not gun control, it's people control. I'm worried, I'm the bad guy because I'm concerned. Kids are gone to Tallahassee today. The kids from the school are gone to Tallahassee today, to protest Tallahassee area schools to excuse absences for students protesting at the state capitol. Nixon's coming. 4 dead in Ohio. Whew. All right, anyhow. I spent a lot of time on it, but I guess I'm going to walk away from it right now. The U.S. Constitution, the Second Amendment, freedom of speech, what they are about to make a cocktail out of our Constitution, unsealing a juvenile's record, which, actually I'm okay with down there because we need to look at all of this. But I have a question. Amanda, let me ask you a question. I guess unsealing the juvenile's record is going to be helpful in his defense to determine he's crazy and mentally insane and can't stand trial, or I don't know. I heard if they will waive the death penalty, he'll plead guilty to all 17 counts. I just yes or no, so I can move on. Am I out there in left field by my concern of their mental illness going back into school age years and unsealing the juvenile records and things like that? Am I off the mark here of just the concern I have?
No, you're not.
All right. Please tell me when I'm off the mark. I know it's unusual. I know it could catch you off guard.
Yeah, that's not unusual. I normally tell you too, or I'll wave through the window.
Yeah, when you wave through the window. Folks, you're not. This is not making the front page. Let's just do this real quick. General Michael Flynn. Okay. And this comes from the Federalist, okay? And this comes from the Federalist, and this was printed on February 19th, okay, yesterday. How a plea, I think I sent you a picture of General Flynn, how a plea reversal from Michael Flynn could uncover more federal corruption, okay? Now, here's the thing. Morning Joe, Anderson Cooper, Don Lemon, all of these people, ESPN, none of them will tell you, they will all come and say, but Flynn pled guilty. Let me just tell you something. The government will destroy your life when they come for you. They will destroy your life, okay? Michael Flynn, his son, and I want to say this just so you can yell, his son tweeted out Pizzagate, and the next thing you know, Michael Flynn, and I'm not saying that's the reason, but Michael Flynn's under investigation, and he lied to the FBI and he pleaded guilty, okay? This guy is a general, probably made a little bit of money in life, okay? Do you have the picture of Michael Flynn? This guy is a general, made a little money in life, General Flynn did, all right? But not billionaire status. I doubt Michael Flynn has made the money to where he's got $100 million or $200 million like the Clintons. I don't think Michael Flynn has the money where he where he has like the Clintons from the Clinton Foundation that they were able to steal. So I don't think he had a bunch of pro bono attorneys. That being said, when you're broke, destitute, the government will destroy you, destroy your family. Okay? The only people the government will not destroy is just that, the deep state themselves. The deep state will not destroy Hillary Clinton and Bill. The deep state will not destroy Obama. They will not destroy their inner web. But they will destroy your life. I would say by time Mueller got to Flynn and Peter Strzok involved, and we know Strzok changed the 302s. We feel strong that he changed the 302s in Flynn's interview. By the time they got to this guy, Michael Flynn's wife is probably begging, look, if they don't give you any prison time, I mean, can we at least save the house? I mean, the front living room counter is stacked full of bills. You just got an attorney bill the other day for another $125,000. We don't have it. What are we going to do? And people can't start stepping in to pay his legal bills, or that doesn't look good. So he pleaded guilty because all of the liberal media, what they will tell you, the liberal media says, well, he pleaded guilty. They had something or he wouldn't have pled guilty. Look, folks, when you're broke and you're done and you're broken and they threaten your family and they get you in there and say, hey, look, Michael Jr. is going to have a terrible life. Your grandkids are going to have a terrible life. Your life is over unless you talk to us and tell us what we want to know. You think that only happens in the movies? How the hell do you think they get the information for the movies? This happens. So Flynn is a beaten down man, a 3-star general that's been beaten down by these people, these lying no good crooks, okay, that are laughing at him, laughing at Donald Trump. And he basically says, okay, you got me inconsistent on, a couple comments on meeting with Russians or talking to them and saying the word sanctions, all right? What do we got to do for me not to go to prison? No more attorney bills, whatever. What do I have to do? You tell us this and it's over. Okay, man, I'm going home. It's over. Well, we come to find out all the details, which we don't have enough time in the show, how a plea reversal from the Michael Flynn could uncover more federal corruption. Did Robert Mueller's office withhold other evidence in Michael Flynn's prosecution, either from the FISA court or from Flynn's attorneys? There's a reason so to believe. On Friday, this is on this past Friday, see, this came out February 19th. Today, on Friday, Judge Emmett Sullivan issued an order in the United States versus Flynn that while widely unnoticed, reveals something fascinating: a motion by Michael Flynn to withdraw his guilty plea based on government misconduct is likely in the works. Nobody's talking about that. Just a week ago, and thus before, Sullivan quietly directed special counsel Robert Mueller's team to provide Flynn's attorneys any exculpatory evidence. Washington Examiner columnist Byron York detailed the oddities of Flynn's case. The next day, former assistant U.S. Attorney and National Review contributor editor Andrew McCarthy connected more of the questionable dots. York added even more detail after a couple days later. Together, these articles provide a backdrop necessary to understand the significance of Flynn's order on Friday. Of Sullivan's order. I'm sorry, the judge. The significance of Sullivan's order on Friday. They have to turn over all of the me try to say it again. All of the exculpatory evidence, any exculpatory evidence. This is big, not on the front pages. We'll see what happens there. Now, the president's been tweeting out like a madman. He's probably watching the show. He was probably tuned in an hour ago, because we're going to go through the real Donald Trump Twitter page. 1 hour ago, the President of the United States tweeted out, "I have been much tougher on Russia than Obama. Just look at the facts. Total fake news." 1 hour ago, listen to this one, Amanda. Perk up your ears. "Hope Republicans in the great state of Pennsylvania challenge the new pushed congressional map all the way to the Supreme Court, if necessary. Your original was correct. Don't let the Dems take elections away from you so that they can raise taxes and waste money." Folks, the enemy is from within. Russia trying to manipulate our elections is not the last thing, but it's the furthest thing. That's what's really happening inside this country to manipulate the elections in favor of Democrats. They got to get House seats, state Senate seats. This is a state. They got to get state House seats, state Senate seats, governor mansions back, and they got to get legislative districts, and they have to have the courts. You see on the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, that's Pennsylvania Supreme Court ruled in favor of Democrats. All right? All of these Republican states, you think I'm silly? If they can get enough power, how do you think? If they can get enough power to change the legislature in your state or the governor and flip them, your Supreme Court justices in your state, then they can gerrymander the way they want, then they can win elections. I'm just telling you, all right? Donald Trump 1 hour ago, Matt Shapley and the CPAC are getting ready for another exciting event. Big difference from those days when President Obama held the White House. You've come a long way, Matt. Okay, good for you. Let's see what else I have. President did in an hour. Okay, let's see. Republicans are now leading the generic poll, perhaps because of the popular tax cuts, which Democrats want to take away. Actually, they want to raise your taxes substantially. Also, they want to do nothing on DACA. Republicans want to fix it. All right. 2 hours ago, the President Obama quote just before election. That's because he thought crooked Hillary was going to win and he didn't want to rock the boat. When I easily won the Electoral College, the whole game changed and the Russian excuse became the narrative of the Dems. There is no serious problem, again, Donald J. Trump, there is no serious problem. Sorry, back up. There is no serious person out there who would suggest somehow that you could ever rig America's elections. There's no evidence that this has happened in the past or that it will happen this time. And so I'd invite Mr. Trump to stop whining and make his case to get votes. That was President Obama's quote, okay, to get votes. Man, let's see. That's the last one. There's no more I'm going to read today. So that was President Barack Hussein Obama's quote. Man, I only got 10 minutes. I didn't really give you a window, but here it is. Do you have anything that you've pulled up? I don't mean to put you on the spot. Do you have anything that you pulled up that you think we ought to, in this last 10 minutes, brush over before we take off? No, I don't want to touch that no more. Okay, all right. Let's see what I have here. Pence, Behar's comments about faith show how out of touch some of the media are. During the exclusive Fox and Friends interview on Monday, Vice President Mike Pence addressed the fallout after The View co-host mocked Christian faith. It all started last Tuesday when The View played a clip from Celebrity Big Brother, in which former White House staffer Omarosa said the vice president thinks Jesus tells him to say things. It went on, which you know most of the details, Joy Behar said, it's one thing to talk to Jesus, it's another thing when Jesus talks to you, Joy Behar said, adding that hearing voices is a mental illness, those of us in public life are pretty accustomed to criticism, but when I heard that ABC had a program that likened my Christianity to mental illness, I just couldn't be silent, Mike Pence said. President Pence said. So we got that. ABC, I read the article this morning, they are getting flooded. They are getting flooded with complaints. They should pull these people immediately. Immediately, they should be pulled off. Pulled off the air. All right. Yes. I want to play this for a reason. We've talked about elections. We talked about paper ballots. We've talked about this. I want to talk about Florida. We've talked about Pennsylvania. We're talking about elections. I've got the CNN video, the flashback, not the. I'll tell you the one I want. I already timed it out. Not the one that's about 2 minutes long. Watch this video, folks, because I think there's days we need to remember some things and pay attention to this.
A big call to make. CNN announces that we call Florida in the Al Gore column. This is a state both campaigns desperately wanted to win.
Stand by. CNN right now is moving our earlier declaration of Florida back to the too close to call column. 25 very big electoral votes in the home state of the governor's brother, Jeb Bush, are hanging in the balance. This no longer is.
No, why did you come back to me?
Will become the 43rd president of the United States.
Say that, given everything. Say that.
What happened there? I was able to hear in there. Did something go wrong in the video? Can we try to reload it? Reload it and let's try it again, because I was doubling. I want to play that for a reason. Let me know when you have it, because I don't want to leave without this, because it's very important we remind.
A big call to make. CNN announces that we call Florida in the Al Gore column. This is a state both campaigns desperately wanted to win.
Stand by. CNN right now is moving our earlier declaration of Florida back to the too close to call column. 25 very big electoral votes in the home state of the governor's brother, Jeb Bush, are hanging in the balance. This no longer is a victory for Vice President Gore. George Bush, governor of Texas, will become the 43rd president of the United States at 18 minutes past 2 o'clock Eastern Time. CNN declares that George Walker Bush has won Florida's 25 electoral votes.
The vice president has recalled the governor and retracted his concession.
But this race is simply too close to call. And until the recount is concluded and the results of Florida become official, our campaign continues.
Bill Daley, the chairman of the Gore campaign, you just heard it. We're all, I think we can hardly believe our ears. He said, until the results are official and certified in the state of Florida, we are going to continue our campaign.
We hope and believe we have elected the next president of the United States. They're still counting. and I'm confident when it's all said and done, we will prevail.
For every successive hour from this point on, CNN will be your network to find out what is the latest on that presidential race.
That's right.
In the United States.
So stay with CNN because whatever is happening, we are going to be bringing it to you.
And folks, in the year 2004, please, could you make up your minds a little more conclusively? Because I think we can't take another election like this one.
I don't believe we can take another election like this, folks. And you think the Russians are meddling in our election? Now, let's remember this, because we're talking about paper ballots, okay? We never talk about illegals. Get the other video ready. It's only 50 seconds. We never talk about illegals voting. We never talk about the corruption in this country, not from within. Remember this? This is just kind of a silent video, but stay with it just for about 55 seconds. You ready, Amanda? Play that video.
Three.
Okay. Remember the hanging Chad? You know, we're discussing paper ballots. We're discussing the Russians interfering in our election. We're discussing so many things, but we never discuss the evil from within this country. And God knows, I hope we can get to that very soon. Let me go over my notes, see if there's anything I forgot. Mayor of Dallas told the NRA they're not welcome. He said the terrorists are among us. The NRA, the mayor of Dallas, the terrorists are among us. The election, every day you're talking about Republicans that are not running for office, and it's amazing, and they're trying to figure out why all these Republicans are not going to run for office again, and are they afraid? I have not gone through the list, but don't forget, they may be self-terming them, self-term limits. They may be imposing self-term limits. A lot of these Republicans ran on promises they would stay 3 terms or whatever, and they may be keeping their promise, okay? Russian meddling in the election. You know, I'm interested that we're worried about, here's the thing, we're worried about people reading fake Russian news. That the Russians will put the news together, put fake news together and put it out there. And there's comments about Russians writing fake news stories, okay? The Russians are going to write fake news stories, and they did, and put out in Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania. This is the concern, is how many of you were gullible for the fake news stories the Russians put out? So does that mean we're going to look at truth in political campaign advertising? Are we not going to allow a politician just to make a 30-second lie and put it out? Because you're concerned that the voters may be manipulated if a politician has enough money to saturate an area to get all the votes and get you to believe something that's not true? So the Russians, you're accusing of doing something that we do all the time. It's politics, right? Interesting. Truth in advertising coming our way soon. I guess I had to double check, tighten the background checks. Let's see. Kemp is coming. Buy, sell, all right. That's everything, and it's 10 o'clock. Today, I will be sitting down with Georgia Secretary of State Brian Kemp. candidate for governor of Georgia. He will be here this afternoon, and we will immediately post that on our YouTube channel. That's FYN TV, Fetcher News YouTube channel. Subscribe there. We will post that, but then we are going to air that interview tomorrow, the first in our Georgia governor candidate interviews. Take us out of here, Amanda. Great day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us. And thank you for returning, because I know you're coming back tomorrow.